What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. My name is UnrealEntGaming, and welcome back to the return of Fan Mail of the Week, guys. Yes, it has been quite a long time since I've done Fan Mail of the Week. Honestly, guys, I had to take a small little break from doing Fan Mail, just for the simple fact that I wasn't having any free time of my own to be doing that. I was getting bombarded with questions, so many questions, and I had a lot to do over the summer, but now we are finally back. Fan Mail, your questions, my answers, your opinions, your theories, your ideals, your questions for me with my answers to you guys with the best of my ability. Welcome back to another awesome episode. It is October. So much has happened in the last 2 months, guys. Honestly speaking, summer is now over and done with. It's been over and done with for a while now, unless of course you live like somewhere in South America, Florida. You guys are pretty much the lucky ones because you have summer year-round, and I just wanted to say that I miss your questions, guys. If you guys have any questions for me, drop them in the comment section below, guys. I will try to answer them with the best of my ability. I have several questions that I have to answer here today, video format questions. So if you guys have any video format questions to send me, simply either tag me in it or just, you know, paste the link of the video in the comment section below. Just make sure that the video is either public or unlisted due to the fact that it works better that way. So once again, guys, Fan Mail has returned. I'm going to be doing a lot more interactions with you guys. I was actually planning on doing several giveaways towards probably the end of the month, beginning of November-ish, due to the fact that that's when all the, you know, good games are going to start rolling on in, and cannot wait for that, especially towards the end of the month, guys. I mean, we have several great movies coming out, such as, you know, Paranormal Activity 5, which I personally am looking forward to. Yes, I am. Just because I want to see how the franchise ends. I want to see how the entire series ends, with everything culminating in one movie, perhaps. Hopefully, if that's the case. Then we have several games coming out, such as Halo 5 Guardians. We have WWE 2K16, and then a few weeks after that, we're going to have Fallout 4, followed by Black Ops 3, and then Star Wars the movie in December. So many great things, guys. So I really hope you guys are going to sit back and enjoy, whether you guys are in school, at work, just bored pretty much. Either way, guys, I really hope you guys sit back and enjoy. Once again, if you guys haven't checked out my second channel, you guys might want to go on ahead and do so at UnrealEnt Network. On there, you're going to find a whole bunch of awesome stuff that you guys will not get to find on here. Discussion videos, open debates, podcasts, what if battles, a ton of awesome stuff. So if you guys haven't done that, you guys might want to go on ahead and check it out. So let's begin with our first question of the return of Fan Mail of the Week, and it is from
my question to Alex, aka UnrealEntGaming, is: will you do more reviews on Dragon Ball New Age, because we like it, it's entertaining and everything else. We like how you do it, so please continue to do some more. My other question is, like, what do you think about the Dragon Ball Raging Blast project? Because, like, you know, I believe it could become a great game, like, you know, if you still doing some more reviews, because you're getting more support of the Dragon Ball community than anything else, than Christopher Savage and, like, you know, the Main Street people. Do you think Treevax should, like, talk to them or talk to Funimation, like, you know, to get their support on it, so that can build up, like, towards Neko Bandai, or, like, however he can get it up? Or the other thing is, like, which is why I'm watching, is Naruto right now. Like, you know, what you think about the Naruto Ultimate Ninja 4 game? Like, you know, I know you're not a big Naruto fan, but at the same time, what do you think about it playable? And the other thing is, what do you think about the new WWE 2K16? What do you think that's going to incorporate? The Invasion version, like I said on my last video, or, like, you know, however you said it, like, when you responded? And last but not least, can you, Foreign in World, Sacrifice Negro, ZZ Toasty, I think, Red Master, Quaman, Thundershock, and Black and Fist do a all big broadcast about Dragon Ball Z and other animation? And what do you think about S-Crowd Ed, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam, all the Gundams, Zoids, like, you know, completely all those, like, good animation that we know and love? Like, what do you think about them? You think they should, like, get a new series in this generation? And how do you think it playing out? And I'm looking forward to it, like, you know, doing more reviews on Dragon Ball New Age, and for your upcoming, like, you know, manga series with your character Raikon. I think I'm looking forward to it. I'm out.
Once again, Ben, thank you for the questions. It really means a lot to me. Your video was awesome, by the way. I stay talking to you about several topics, you know, whether it be Raging Blast 3 and whatnot, but I'm going to get into your questions right now. Now, to answer your first question, Dragon Ball New Age, I don't know if you've seen my previous video, but I have done several reviews on Dragon Ball New Age, and I will continue to do more. And actually, right now, I am currently up to the Elijah saga, and if you don't know who Elijah is, he is an aspect lord who is far beyond Beerus, Whis, Rigger, and all these other characters. So Dragon Ball New Age, for those of you out there who haven't even heard about it before, you guys might want to go on ahead and check it out. Check out DeviantArt/Malik Studios. You guys can go on ahead and go on Facebook.com/Dragon Ball New Age to go on ahead and help support the series, guys. Dragon Ball New Age is a very, very good story created by Malik, my good friend Terry, who pretty much, you know, circulates Dragon Ball New Age after Dragon Ball GT. And of course, some people like it, some people hate it. I personally enjoy it. I love the product. I love the way Malik, you know, develops his story and the way Rigger came about and the aspect lords and their great powers and whatnot. And then we have the Namekian magic for the Namex. It's pretty cool stuff. So Dragon Ball New Age is always going to continue on my channel. I will always be a supporter of Dragon Ball New Age. For those of you out there that aren't really supporters of Dragon Ball New Age, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's a great product. At least for me, it is. I think it's a very entertaining aspect. I mean, it's Dragon Ball, and yes, you can call me a fanboy, but you know what? It is what it is. I love the product. I love Dragon Ball, and that's all I have to say about that. Granted, you know, there is no manga, there is no fan-made product that is, you know, perfect. Every single fan-made aspect, you know, has their own faults. Every single fan manga has its, you know, pros and cons. But for me personally, aside from Dragon Ball Multiverse, Dragon Ball New Age has been the one product that I've been, you know, emotionally invested in, just because I like the way everything goes about, the artwork to it, you know, the overall, you know, system of story. So I think Dragon Ball New Age is definitely something amazing that people should check out. So to answer your second question, Raging Blast 3, I will always be a supporter of Raging Blast 3 because I loved Raging Blast 1 and 2. I think at this point, I don't think that Raging Blast 3 will come out, and the reason why I say that is because Xenoverse is such a hot commodity that I feel as if the developers pretty much gave up on continuing a Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast 3. I think that if the first two games were to have significant sales, they were to encompass and pretty much continue off that and perhaps even make a Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast 3. Trevex has a great project going on. I will always support it. I actually like the way Trevex put everything together. The guy literally put a lot of time into his work. I respect Trevex for everything he's done. He's contributed a lot to try to make Raging Blast 3 a great commodity, and I do support Raging Blast 3 because I personally would like to see it. I think it'll be different, but granted, at this point, I think Xenoverse is such a hot thing going on that I think they're going to continue solely based on that. Am I a firm believer in Raging Blast 3? Yes, I am. Am I a supporter of Raging Blast 3? Yes, I am. Would I like to see Raging Blast 3? Yes, I do. I would love to see the mechanics incorporated from Xenoverse into Raging Blast 3, custom-made characters, a bigger roster, but then again, you have to ask yourself, how exactly would they be able to execute a Raging Blast 3 following up to a Dragon Ball Xenoverse story? So many people were drawn onto Dragon Ball Xenoverse's story because it was different. So how can Raging Blast 3 have a different story that would be able to, you know, draw a larger audience than how Xenoverse did? I definitely think people need to check out and support Trevex's idea for Raging Blast 3 because you'll never really know what may happen. But then again, there have been a lot of people, including myself, who've been wanting to see Budokai Tenkaichi 4 for years now, and that's never happened. So sometimes you're gonna have to accept the fact that some things just may not happen as much as you want it to, as much as I wanted to. We would all like for it to happen. It's all ultimately up to the company. So I think if there are people out there that would truly support this idea, get the word out, support Trevex's idea for Raging Blast 3, and see what happens in the future, because hey, I mean, you'll never really know, but then again, it's ultimately up to the companies and not us. So To answer your third question, though, Naruto Ninja Storm 4. Now, I think the game looks really cool. I haven't played it personally. I played the third one. The third one was pretty cool. I just never played the fourth one, given the fact that I never really watched the show. So I wouldn't know what the hell I'd be talking about if I were to play it, because I don't know any of the backstory to the characters. I'm into different animes right now. I'm currently watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm completely finished with Death Note. So I'm getting into other animes before Naruto. Now, am I saying Naruto is bad? No. I was just never one to get into it because I never really had any time to invest into Naruto in the first place. The games look really cool. I've seen several people play them. I've seen, you know, some of my close friends play them. The game looks really awesome. May I play them? Of course. I mean, I may give it a try. Am I going to succeed at it? Probably not. But I mean, for a game that's entertaining, I would definitely play it. Now, for WWE 2K16, to answer your fourth question, that game drops at the end of the month, and I can't wait for that to come out because I want to see how they're going to incorporate the story mode. Now, you're going to have, you know, all sorts of new characters like, you know, Kevin Owens and, you know, Finn Balor, and you're going to have, you know, Hideo Itami, and you're going to have the Ascension, and you're going to have Neville. Even though Neville was in the previous games, you know, you're still going to have a revamped Neville. Loads of new characters, loads of new moves, and I want to see how they're going to incorporate NXT. Perhaps maybe career mode might start off with you in NXT again, you know, working your way up and then having to build a career from there. Then again, the game can go either way. I haven't really looked too much into it because I'm trying to avoid it. I'm actually trying to surprise myself because the last thing I came across was the soundtrack. And from what I saw, the soundtrack looks really good, so I'm trying my best to avoid as much as I can because I do know the roster, I do know the overall, you know, playlist for the game, but aside from that, I haven't really looked too much into it because I'm trying to avoid it as a surprise for myself. The game is going to be spectacular. I will be presenting a lot of awesome stuff from WWE 2K16, but one thing that I am really looking forward to so far is the NXT roster. So, and to answer your final question, myself, Black and Fist, Thundershot, of course. I mean, I would love to do something like that. I would love to discuss animes, past animes, current animes, future animes, all sorts of, you know, awesome stuff, including Dragon Ball Z. So, if we can make that happen, it'll be really awesome. So, I mean, the only way you can make that happen is if you guys go ahead and tag them in this video, or just overall, you know, spread the word that we want to see that happen, you know, at least sometime in the near future. I mean, I think it would be pretty cool. So, but needless to say, man, thank you for the question so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you in the next episode, man. And now moving on to the next question, which is from a man called Alpha Saiyan.
Hey, what's going on, buddy? Alpha Saiyan here, 6196. Here today bringing some fan questions to Alex from UnrealEntGaming, as he sent me some, so I'm just going to send him some back as it's a nice thing to do, I guess. So Alex, I know you've gotten this question a lot, but this question, I'm just thinking of your new subscribers or Paul's new subscribers. I'd really like you to go on ahead and let the subscribers know, how did you first meet Paul, and what made you guys you know, want to like do YouTube together, like team up, be like a team? So what made you guys you know, have that click to do YouTube together? My second question is, what is your opinion on the what's your opinion on the God of War series, that game series? I'd really like to know, because I've never seen you play it. It'd be awesome to see you play I don't know, God of War or something. But what is your opinion on that? Also, since you have I think you said to me that Paul will let you borrow his PS3, would you go on ahead and play, I don't know, the Sly Cooper series or the Jack and Dexter series? So now my third question is, I know that you asked me about Spawn in my fan question, so I'm going to ask you this. Would you ever read Spawn just to get an idea of his power, so you can like understand more about the character, to understand what he's all about and everything else? Like, cause he's all about military training and stuff. That's how he was in his past life, but then he got sent to hell for like doing bad things, which he didn't realize, and then he became a hell spawn. So there's a little something about Spawn for you, just to give you an insight if it interests you or not. Now, you always ask this question a lot, so I'm going to ask you it to switch the tables around here. You always ask people, like, have they encountered like any demon or ghost entities or anything like that? So I want to ask you, have you ever encountered something like that in your life? Because I have, had a few experiences with something like that. I got one really creepy story about that, so if you're going to send me questions again, I'll tell you about it if you ask it, because this one will creep you out to the bone. But enough about me. Question, whatever it is, what was your favorite game to play as a kid other than Dragon Ball Z games? I'd really like to know that. Was there any point in your life as a kid where like you regret I don't know, like not doing much? Because like, I mean, as a kid, like we all had things where like we wished that like we could go back now and be like, oh, I wish I had went to, like, you know, like I wish I went camping with friends more, or I wish I went on holiday more or something. What would you like want to go back and do now if you could? My second question, not my second question, what the fuck am I on about? Well, my last question then, I guess, would be this. What is the worst movie in terms of horror you've ever seen in your entire life, and what would you do if you had to remake it? Anyways, thank you for answering my questions. I hope to see you answer them at least. And take care, Alex, you giant wet.
It's always a pleasure, Mr. Alpha Saiyan 6196. Thank you for the questions once again. For those of you out there who haven't checked out his channel, I would highly suggest you guys to go on ahead and do so. He is a very productive YouTuber, an up-and-coming YouTuber who is pretty much into, you know, the same stuff as I am, so he has his own alternative points of view. So if you guys are fans of myself, you guys might want to go on ahead and just give him a check. Now, to answer your first question, how did I meet Paul? Well, I met Paul in 2012. I'm sure a lot of you guys may already know this. I met him through his mom because I used to work with his mom at the bank, and I still work at the bank, and that's pretty sad because like that place is just so it's such a pressurized environment. You're always forced to do all these things, and it sucks pretty much. But I remember one day I was talking to his mom about some YouTube stuff, and she was like, "Oh, my son's into that too," and I was like, "Really?" And I couldn't really believe it. And then when I met him, I was like, "Oh my god, this guy looks like Osama bin Laden, like fused with like, you know, Jim Carrey." It was just absolutely awesome. So from there, we just pretty much clicked off right away. I started talking to him about my, you know, likes and dislikes. He started telling me about his likes and dislikes, and then his brothers were there, and they were also telling me about their, you know, overall favorites and stuff like that. So we all clicked as one really fast, especially upon like the first few days when I started to get to know him. I saw him do his YouTube thing, especially with Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, and I was watching all of this, and I was like, wow, you know, I play games like, you know, South Park and Spyro and Slender, so why not all, you know, just try to do some things together? And then from there, we just pretty much clicked off. 2012 was a very, you know, crucial point in our lives because that's when we were spending the most time together. I'm talking about sleepovers left and right. I mean, we used to just, you know, spend non-stop amount of hours just, you know, editing stuff and, you know, learning from one another, and it was a really good experience. So me and Paul, we date back a very long time, and now he finally turned 21 a few months ago, and it's pretty cool to see him grow because I remember meeting him before he was 18, and now he's 21. So we're all getting older, we're all, you know, progressing through life relatively fast. But just, you know, having that experience with Paul, collaborating and doing a whole bunch of awesome stuff, helping one another out, I can't thank Paul enough for everything he's done, and I'm pretty sure same thing goes for him. I mean, he couldn't thank me enough for helping him a lot. So he's my bro. He's always gonna be my bro. I remember just like playing, you know, all sorts of games with him, just having a good time, from The Walking Dead to, you know, Minecraft, to Call of Duty and Battlefield and South Park and all these games together. You know, like that kid is that kid is one kid that I would say stands out amongst the rest because I have a personal connection with him, and he's like my brother. So I love Paul to death, although sometimes, you know, school does get in the way, and so does my work life. Like, you know, that tends to just, you know, put a halt in our gaming, but either way, we always find a way to, you know, interact and have a good time. So that's the story between me and Paul. I mean, he's an incredible guy. You guys might want to go on ahead and check him out at the legendary Super Saiyan Paul. That actually goes back to your second question, God of War. Now, I love God of War. I actually did a little playthrough of God of War through Paul's PS3 back in 2012 on my channel, and I love God of War. I haven't really played the first one through all the way, but I have played the second, third, and Ascension fully, and those games are just great. I was actually thinking about having it, you know, being hosted on my channel, but then again, copyright issues and stuff like that gets in the way. So Twitch was always a good start for me to go on ahead and go on there and just play through. So God of War is an amazing series. God of War is a series that cannot be touched because the story arc is great. The character developments for Kratos, Zeus, his overall backstory is just, you know, untouchable in my opinion. I personally love the whole, you know, Hades story. Actually, that was one of my favorites, to be honest. So God of War is truly amazing. I would do it on my channel if the you know, if the actual cutscenes weren't copyrighted, which I think is just so silly in my opinion. But God of War is great. I am looking forward to the 4th game. I will be getting the 4th game actually, because I remember when I was a kid I had God of War 1 and 2 for the PS2, but I never really played 1 fully, and I never really beat 1 because I was always into like Metal Gear and stuff like that. So God of War is an amazing series. I love the game so much. It's definitely in my top 10 list for my favorite games of all time. So to answer your 3rd question, now that I have the PS3, well, at least I had the PS3, playing games like Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have played Jak a little bit on my channel. Unfortunately enough, you know, the PS3 had to be given back to Paul, but I mean, either way, if I did have it, I would continue now. I'm pretty sure Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, and Ratchet and Clank are going to be going on the PS4 very, very soon. At least on the PS Now, I mean, I hope so, because the PlayStation Now doesn't have that many games that really catch your eye, per se, because it's a lot of, like, throwback games that nobody really cared about, with the exception of a few that were really, really good. But aside from that, if I had to go back and play them, I definitely would. Jak seemed very fun, so why not? And I actually started from the very first one, so going through that was actually pretty cool. So from what I was told, Jak 2 was supposed to be the best one, and I never really got to play that much. So to answer your 4th question, Spawn. Now, I don't know if you saw my video where I was pretty much, you know, showcasing the comic store in the city, but I would definitely love to read more about Spawn, because when I was in that store, I did come across a few Spawn comics. I came across Deadpool, I came across, you know, Red Hulk. I actually came across a lot of awesome, you know, comics, and I really want to get into, you know, Spawn, because when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Spawn, like literally absolutely amazing. Like I used to be like a huge fanboy of Spawn when I was a kid, and then over the years I pretty much forgotten what it was like to be a fan of Spawn, because I never really got too much into him, because I forgot his backstory. And granted, it's been a long time, so would I go back and read it? Hell yeah. Now to answer your 5th question, have I ever experienced anything that has to do with demons or some sort of demonic spirit? Personally, no. I have never experienced anything that has to do with demons or some sort of satanic, you know, ritual. But I have, you know, had experiences where I felt a presence around me. I remember seeing shadows when I was a kid. So there are certain things that do affect me to a certain extent. Even till this day, sometimes I would feel as if I'm being watched, or I would see something in the corner of my eye. Does it really bother me? I wouldn't say necessarily so, because I've grown to, you know, become stronger spiritually when it comes to these things. I have experienced, you know, things that have to do with ghosts, I guess you could say, especially at my friend Brandon's house a very long time ago. To make a very long story short, I remember his pantry door used to open and close randomly in his house, and I remember it never used to affect him, because he always used to know what it was, and it was the ghost of his grandmother. But for me personally, you know, being that I wasn't really used to that kind of stuff, I would be petrified. So I have experienced some things that have to do with that, per se. But yes, I do believe in demons, I do believe in ghosts, but will I ever tamper with that? Probably not, because I would never want to anger what's on the other side. As angry as they are already, I wouldn't want to tempt that and just go any further into pressing the issue, because again, we are only human. We don't know what capabilities or, you know, what kind of powers the other side possesses. So for me, I would much rather, you know, sit back and just not want to go through that, rather than just, you know, tempt it and just find out for myself. To answer your 6th question, my favorite games as a kid. Well, I remember answering this quite a few times actually, but when I was a kid, some of my favorite games were WWE, Here Comes the Pain, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, other games such as Manhunt. Manhunt used to be just absolutely awesome. Now, other games that I have to say were great for me, at least, I would say, were Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 0. There were, you know, a bunch of games that I would say that I fell in love with as a kid, that including Dragon Ball Z Budokai, Budokai 2, 3, you know, just the overall Tenkaichi series. I mean, all of those games were great. I mean, I would say I did have a lot of favorite games. I really did, especially as a kid. There were so many games I used to just play back and forth. Need for Speed Underground was also amazing. I mean, like I said, I mean, there were a bunch of games that, you know, just caught my eyes as a kid. Even today, I mean, I do have a lot of favorite games today as well. But as a kid, those were my favorites. Now, to answer your 7th question, is there anything I regret as a kid? Yes, I do. There are a lot of things that I regret as a child. I'm pretty sure we all have regretted a lot of things as kids that we all wish we can go back and, you know, fix or do, or just overall, you know, just improve on. But for me, if I had to fix anything in the past, I would say not to waste too much time on the stupid things, the things that didn't really matter, because for me at least, I would say that I wish I had more time to be more productive as a kid, because when I was a kid, I used to just be so lazy. I really didn't do much because I really didn't know myself. But if I had to, you know, pick and choose and correct myself, I would definitely go back and just, you know, do more productive things rather than just, you know, sitting back and eating junk food and not doing anything with myself. Now, to answer your final question, worst horror movie, well, actually, there have been a lot, Resident Evil included. Resident Evil for me sucks. I hate the Resident Evil movies because I feel as if they're a complete knockoff of the games. I would definitely redo those. Another movie that I saw just recently, actually, that you helped me watch was The Gallows. And I hated The Gallows. I just couldn't get into it. It was just very slow. The story was crap. Everything about it was pretty much silly. So for me personally, that was another movie that I felt like was just complete garbage that I would definitely redo and tell a better perspective from. Aside from that, I would say The Last Exorcism was definitely crap as well. I would definitely change everything about that movie as well. But aside from those, off the top of my head, I can't really think of much. But those would definitely be the movies that I would say were complete crap that I would redo. So, once again, Mr. Alpha Saiyan, thank you for the questions, my friend, and I hope you have a very, very awesome day, bro. And now moving on to the next question, which is from the 21st Gamer. Hi, Alex. Your videos are amazing. Thank you, man. I'm a huge fan. How is your wrestling, by the way? It's going very good. Thank you so much for asking. But anyways, I have 2 questions. Question number 1, what is your favorite version of the Kamehameha Wave? 10 times, Big Bang, Super, etc. And question number 2, so when Goku did the ritual in Battle of Gods, his base form became stronger due to experience. So if he kept, you know, doing the God ritual, do you think he would have gotten stronger and stronger or stayed the same? Thank you for reading. I hope you enjoy it and have an amazing day. Thank you so much, man. I hope you have an amazing day as well. To answer your first question, my favorite version of the Kamehameha Wave. Now, I love the Big Bang Kamehameha. I think it looks really cool, especially when he gets into it. He's like, Big Bang Kamehameha. It just like, it looks amazing the way Gogeta gets into it. But if we're talking about Goku, I would say my favorite, you know, technique from Goku would have to be the Super Kamehameha Wave. The 10 times Kamehameha Wave is cool and all, but it just never really looked nor had any sort of, you know, difference to it other than having a red beam instead of it being blue. But out of all of them, I would say the Big Bang Kamehameha is my favorite by far. Just the way his hands are placed into motion, just the way the overall blast is built up, the way it looks, the way it sounds, I think it's just great. So my favorite is the Big Bang Kamehameha. And to answer your last question, if Goku had continuously performed the ritual under his base form, would he have gotten stronger? Well, Goku primarily focused on training his base form and Super Saiyan form towards the end of, you know, the Buu saga, because he wanted to perfect those, you know, forms first before going on ahead and mastering Super Saiyan 2 and 3. I don't think he really needs Super Saiyan 2 and 3 once he has mastered Super Saiyan 1 and overall his base form, because his base form at some point, especially during GT, was supposed to be equivalent to a Super Saiyan 3. That's how strong he's gotten over the years. Do I think he would have been the same? I don't think so. I think Goku would have gradually improved, especially in his base form being as strong as it was. After seeing it in Resurrection F when he fought Frieza, he was able to fight Frieza final form in his regular base form and handle him no problem. So that just goes to show how powerful he's gotten, especially with the overall ritual, you know, guidance and his power increasing on his base form alone. So Goku has trained a lot and his base form has increased. So no, I don't think I don't think he'd stay the same at all. I think he would gradually improve and his base form would get stronger and stronger. So anyways, Mr. 21st Gamer, thank you for the questions and I hope you have an amazing day, my friend. So now moving on to the next question, which is from Anime King. I have one question not related to anything, but yeah. I am 16, I am really mature, and also have a fully connected beard. I like a girl at my job, but she's 18, so my question is, does age matter, and should I make the first move to a connection, or should she do it? Anyone feel free to answer. Fucking hormones. Well, thank you for the question, by the way. I mean, I really hope I can answer this. Now, even though you're 16 and you have a fully connected beard, that shouldn't play into effect at all. Even though she's 18 and you're 16, I would have to say, you know, sometimes in life, you're going to have to come to a point where you're going to have to man up and just, you know, do something out of the norm in order for you to see what the overall outcome can be. I would rather live with, you know, answers that I would have for every question that I pose for, rather than just sitting there wondering what if. So yeah, I would say make the move on her, talk to her, get to know her. By you know, stalling around and not getting to know the girl at all, and connecting on that basis actually prevents you from going any further. So even though you're 16, no, I don't think age should ever be a factor in anything. Even though she's 18, I'm pretty sure she views it from a completely different standpoint, and I think from her standpoint is the fact that you're younger than her, so she would like to date older men. But then again, if you were to show this girl how you actually are and you know, show her the maturity that you claim to have, then maybe that may have an effect upon her, because some girls honestly don't go for age right off the bat. They care about personality, they care about how you treat them. Then there are other girls who care about, you know, physical attributes, they care about your age. So I don't think age should play into a factor, although I would say get to know the girl, talk to the girl more, connect with her on that basis level, just so you can build a foundation for a relationship in the future. Because if you take the time not to do this, you're only going to be, you know, hurting yourself, because in the end, when you finally decide to make a move, she may have already been taken or seeing someone else. So I would say, you know, talk to her more, interact with her more, get to know her, you know, just connect with her on that level, you know, whatever, you know, interest she has in terms of likes and dislikes, get to know that, you know, do things that she likes, and just show her that you care. And then later down the road, when you get older, she may actually give you that chance that you've been looking for. So honestly, that's the best thing I would say for you to do. So anyways, Mr. Anime King, thank you for the question. I hope you have a very awesome day, my friend. And now moving on to the next question, which is from Johnson. Hey Alex, I got one question. I'm a fan of your DBZ videos. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Now, question number 1. Broly versus Cell. Perfect Cell, of course. I say Broly because of his power. Question number 2. If Dragon Ball Z Super has fusion, which fusion would you want to see? Question number 3. Whis versus Golden Frieza. And finally, question number 4. Do you think we'll see a fight between Champa and Goku? Now, thank you for the questions, by the way. It really means a lot to me. Now, to go back to your first question, Broly versus Cell. This has been a debate literally just like years and years and years in the making. For me personally, in terms of raw power, yeah, I think Broly holds that over Cell. But in terms of like strategy, speed, in terms of, you know, technique, Cell holds that down over Broly any day of the week. I think Cell would completely decimate Broly in my opinion. So in the end, I would say Cell would win, because Cell does possess the natural attributes of every single fighter that he came across, such as Goku, Vegeta, Trunks, Frieza, you know, so on and so forth. So Cell does possess that realm of power that Broly does not. Even though Broly is like a tank and he would bring the fight to Cell, in the end Cell would win just completely, because obviously speed kills, and I think overall strategy does win the battle. So I think Cell would definitely outsmart Broly, and therefore catching him for the, you know, fatality, I guess you could say, because I do think Cell would win. Do I think it'll be an easy fight? Probably not, but I think in the end Cell would definitely win. To answer your second question, fusions in Dragon Ball Super. Now, I know a lot of you guys may be expecting me to say Vegeta or Gogeta, but I think a possible fusion between future Trunks and Gohan would be great. I think seeing those two do like a temporary metamorph fusion would be really awesome to see. Aside from that, I would love to see a fusion between enemies. I think if we always had, you know, the good guys fuse, it just becomes a little bit boring at first, because obviously you would already know how powerful they are and where they stand in terms of their heart. But for me, I would love to see a fusion, a possible fusion between enemies in Dragon Ball Super, just so they can give, you know, the Z Fighters a great run for their money, per se. But aside from that, I really can't say who or what. I mean, I would not like to see the gods fuse, because I think the gods should just stay where they're at right now. But aside from the enemies fusing and Gohan and future Trunks, I mean, I would say that would be it for me. To answer your third question, Whis would decimate Golden Frieza easily. I don't think Golden Frieza would even stand a chance. Whis would obliterate him, and if anybody differs, please go on ahead and let me know, because I would love to hear your overall thoughts and opinions on that. But in terms of Golden Frieza versus Whis, I would say Whis would win. And to answer your final question, Champa and Goku, well, I would love to see Champa fight other people aside from that. I would like to see Champa potentially even fight Whis. I think it'll be really awesome to see, and I think personally, you know, Champa does pose a very credible threat. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching Super lately or not, but Champa is a very interesting dynamic in Dragon Ball Super. Hopefully in the future, I really hope they make, you know, some sort of new movie in the future where they showcase Champa in it, because I would love to see, you know, how he would go about, you know, certain things. Perhaps maybe even a Beerus / Champa origin movie. I think that would be really cool. But aside from that, I think Champa and Goku is great enough as it is. But we all know Champa wins. So, but anyways, my friend, thank you for the questions once again, and I hope you have an amazing day. And once again, guys, thank you all for watching the return of Fan Mail of the Week. If you guys have any questions for me, drop it in the comment section below, guys. If you guys have video format questions, which are very preferable and they're easier to do, again, just send me the link in the comment section below. Once again, guys, thank you all for watching. If you guys are fans, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash that like button. Stay tuned for more, and I'll be seeing you all in next week's episode. Take it easy, everybody. Peace!